All right, everybody, we are very excited to bring in a guy we've had on before, a guy that kicks ass to the highest degree, our buddy Natan Levy, coming off a nice win over Mike Breeden in the UFC. Natan, it's great to have you back, man. I know when we were talking about, when we had you on last time, we were talking about this fight. First off, congrats on the win, and we appreciate you coming back.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
For sure. Well, here's where I want to start. You know, obviously, anybody that has a job, you face pressures, right, in real life, whether you're an accountant, truck driver, UFC fighter, and you were at a point coming off a loss where this was make or break for you in this fight against Mike Breeden, and you came through. So my question to you is, how much of the pressure were you feeling before this? How much did you use that in training? And how much of a great feeling was it when he lifted your arm up and you were announced the winner?
You know, after the first UFC fight, which was my first loss ever in my career, you know, it wasn't easy mentally to get through the aftermath. You know, thinking, should I have won? Did I lose to the better man? Or was it me who, you know, kind of sabotaged myself and not necessarily on purpose, but just through training not the right way or whatever it could be. So there was a lot of digging to see what was the cause for this first loss ever. And, you know, I went, I kind of analyzed everything. What was I doing right? What was I doing wrong? Then into the Breeden fight, you know, I think I showed a lot of improvement, and I also showed a lot of like my skills, my ability, things that I didn't show in the first fight. And now, you know, after getting that first win, kept doing the same thing, analyzing, seeing what I can do better, what I can, you know, what I'm not doing good enough. And now just got my second UFC win against Valdez. And, you know, feels good, feels awesome. I feel like I'm back on track and I'm ready to run through the division.
Yeah, and now you have your win over Valdez, and it gives you a couple, and, you know, it's one of those things, experience is the greatest teacher of all. Do you continue to kind of tweak your training and make additions to it, or maybe even subtractions as you go through it and see how the results kind of come to you? Because again, it's just like baking a cake. You're going to get out what you put into it.
Yeah, exactly. And like baking a cake, you know, you might think, oh, I'm going to replace this sugar with a little bit of honey.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to replace this and that. And then at the end, it's not the cake. You made a mess. So I think that a lot of fighters can do that sometimes. They want to do too much or learn from too many people, or just, you know, you really got to find your balance, because at the end of the day, you do have to have a few coaches because you're doing a few disciplines. So how much is too much? On one hand, you want to spar hard and, you know, test yourself in the gym and feel good and feel confident that you can, you know, bang and go hard for a few rounds and feel good. On the other hand, you don't want to damage yourself. You know, when you're not getting paid for it, you don't want to take the brain damage, the physical damage. So it's always a balancing act in MMA. And I think I've kind of found my groove. Also mentally, you know, how confident am I? Am I overconfident? Am I too sure I'm going to win? Am I not sure enough? Am I kind of, you know, playing too much with doubts in my head? So for this last fight, I think everything was perfect, especially like the mental side. The training wise, I switched camps to Extreme Couture. I feel great there. So I'm super happy.
Yeah, well, watching you in the Valdez fight compared to the fight before, you looked even more comfortable in the octagon than you did. And to me, that's got to be the whole goal of the whole thing.
Hey, Natan, can you walk us through the behind the scenes on how a fight gets made in the UFC? Who all is involved in the process, and who all is involved in the process, and how is the information presented to you, and how do you decide ultimately who you're going to fight next?
So right now, you know, I'm always kind of just waiting for that phone call. My agent calls me, hey man, we got a fight for you. It's Valdez, December 3rd. You want to take it? Or he says, you know, take a look at him and give me a call back. I watched him. I said, holy shit, this guy is scary. I do not want to fight him. Call my agent. Yeah, book the fight.
He said, well, surprised you're going to fight him.
Well, funny enough, I mean, Blaine's been looking for a sparring partner. He's trying to get in the ring, looking for a few fights.
Blaine wants to fight Jake Paul.
How can we set that up, Natan? We got to get a sparring session in.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, we got to get a sparring
You're the
session
one
when you're in
always
Vegas.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Don, can't wait.
It'll get you ready, man.
Can't wait. I was going to stick to the boxing thing. I really hadn't taken a foot to the ribs before.
Look,
hey,
we believe in it. It's a fight.
why don't you get in there too, Dave?
Because I haven't been the one
fighters tall enough
parading
to fight
around
David.
talking about, plus there's different divisions, there's
Yeah, he's
weight
too
considerations, all sorts of
That's
stuff.
why you can't work for NASA either. You can't fit in a rocket ship or fight.
So you're a highest now.
huh? No, I'm a realist.
I've been told I can be an astronaut.
Okay,
They make them
well,
bigger now.
Yeah, you can be somebody on the computer to help.
Sorry about that, Natan. A little aside there. But Blaine's been looking for a sparring partner, so.
Well,
Yeah,
Natan-
nothing like taking the foot to the rib.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Nothing like
maybe,
it.
Maybe we can go over some schematics.
What does he say? It's like,
before,
my
maybe
first
watch some
quest.
film.
My first quest,
Or
I thought
something
the first
like
would be
that.
boiling a chicken.
Well, Natan 8-1, man, and that Valdez fight, I saw you doing spinning back kicks, man. You're really whipping out your bag, your repertoire in this fight. What do you go into a fight mentally, whether, a guy has a different style, maybe a weakness for you? What adjustments do you make out throughout the week to be ready to get in that fight mentally and just physically prepared?
It's a roller coaster, and it's ups and downs in energy, in morale, in the will to fight. But like a roller coaster, you can lift your hands and have fun, or you can puke all over the ride.
Yeah.
I love
So,
Natan's analogies. Those are great. Those are great.
He's going to give you a run for your money.
I know.
Yeah, so I chose, to have fun. Of course, there's a lot of nerves, especially when this is so important for you. I've dedicated my life to this sport. Every fight is important. We don't play, like basketball, soccer. We don't play every weekend. We don't fight every weekend. It's a couple times a year. And whatever you can do in that cage in those 15 minutes, that's going to either shoot you up or shoot you down. Like, you're only as good as your last fight. But again, I choose to be positive and kind of enjoy the ride. I feel the fear, no problem. Breathe the fear in and, make it my best friend. And right before walking out, this is the moment when you have the most nerves, the most uncertainty. You could go in there and knock somebody out in 10 seconds, or you could be the guy getting knocked out. You have no control over it. It's all your instincts. The only thing you do have control about is all the training you did up to this point, and fight as hard as you can. And I just knew I was going to fight my ass off no matter what. And then the result is outside of my hands. But I'm going to step in this cage like I'm the boss. And my opponent, is very tough, super durable. I wasn't going to let him bully me. I know he's super aggressive. I know he's going to want to get in my face. I was not going to get bullied in there. And I showed it.
I love it. Natan, what are we going to have to do to get me maybe next in your corner in one of the octagon fights? Not anything tactic-wise, but motivation, getting you hyped up. Because after me just listening to that, man, I'm ready to run through
The walkout crew.
Blaine would be a
walkout
great
crew.
hype man.
I'd hype you. I'm telling you, Natan, we'd be ready. We'd for sure be ready.
Yeah, you're the guy that just taps the shoulders and says, "You got this."
Yeah.
Blaine will just be saying God knows what in your ear.
Yeah, I'm trying to fight the
knows?
other trainer.
Yeah, Blaine wants to fight the other trainer. They're having to hold Blaine back.
I love
but
it.
I do got to ask Natan, and a couple more. We're here with Natan Levy, lightweight division UFC, coming off a couple dubs. Really proud of our guy here. But like, when you're ever out, I know you probably don't go out a lot, but if you're ever out, like, I don't know, and maybe something goes down, or somebody cuts in front of a lady in line, and maybe you get into a little verbal altercation, and then at this point you're like, oh really, what do you do? It's like, well, I fight in the UFC for a living. That's got to be just a great thing to be able to pull out at any point in time. Have you ever been like, listen man, like, I don't want any problems because like I beat people up for a living. I've already figured out 9 ways I could break all your limbs.
Usually I don't need to get into an altercation.
So smart.
A good stare,
There you go, yeah.
Goes a long way.
Face-off look goes a long way. But most people think they can beat a UFC fighters. Most people are so confident. They think, oh, you fight in the UFC? Well, I'm crazy. I see dark, you know?
Yeah, you're gonna see dark when you're unconscious on the pavement.
Yeah.
That's like people who are like, "Oh, hitting a major league fastball? That's nothing. I see it on TV." Or they look in the
bet if
NFL.
300's in
I
high
could have
school.
made that. Yeah, I could have
I would
made
have
that.
made that
kid.
touchdown.
Yeah, that's exactly
literally.
right.
God,
Natan knows
sounds
what's
like-
up. But look, man, let's get down to it. Who do you want next, man? Who do you want next? Like I know you got somebody in mind. You know, your name's starting to get floated out there. You're starting to get more and more pub. Who do you want to step in the octagon next with? Do you have anybody in mind?
Actually, I don't. I'm open. Like I said, you know, my agent is just going to call me soon and tell me, hey, this is the guy. I never said no to an opponent in my life, no matter how good he was, no matter how aggressive he was. It doesn't exist for me. You know, I'll take a look at them. I want to see who I'm fighting, but I am fighting that person. I'm not backing down. So waiting for that call from my agent.
So basically, you're saying these hands are rated E for everyone. Anybody can get it.
Exactly.
You love to
Everybody.
see it. You love to see it. All right, last question for you here, Natan. You made some waves about kind of speaking to Kanye West comments and some of the absolute crazy stuff that has come out of his mouth lately. What prompted you to do that? Did you feel like that's something you needed to step up there and let people know how you felt about it? Because it's just an absolutely wild situation, Natan.
It is wild. And, you know, if we just stand silent and everybody's going to give him a pass and say, oh, you know, he's not okay, this and that. No, what he's saying is not okay. And I won't allow it. You know, spreading hate like this, it's disgusting. And we got to stand up to it. We got to stand up to anti-Semitism. We got to stand up to racism. You know, us Jews, we are 0.1% of the world. We are nothing. We are a speck. We are the minority of minorities, and we are the most hated, and openly as well. And thanks to Kanye, it becomes even more open. I always get hate for who I am. This is my life. I'm Natan. I'm a Jew, and I will get hate. I will get hateful DMs. I will get pictures of Hitler sent to me. That's normal. But usually, people at least have are ashamed enough of their hate that they're doing it from fake accounts. They're doing it from, just kind of like it looks like troll accounts, fake accounts, no name, no pic. Now they're open about it. It's regular accounts. No shame anymore. That's it. Everybody can say whatever they want about Jews, threaten them. And I'm not threatening Kanye. It's a warning. It's a firm warning. So I'm not going out threatening anybody. I'm not going to chase anybody and look for anybody. But I'm telling you, if you come to my home, I have a surprise for you. I won't stand for it. I won't let it happen. We're done shutting up. Stop provoking my people, because it's not going to end well for you. And again, he's giving the strength. He's giving a push to everybody who's a hateful person to just come forward with their hate, and there's no repercussions for it. Well, it's over. Now there is repercussion. I'm going to stand for myself and for my Jewish brothers. I won't let it keep going on. And like I said, we're a minority of minorities. We're the most hated in the world. And our strength, is not in our numbers, but it is in our unity, and we will stand for each other. No more of this.
Yeah, and we, I speaking for myself, I stand with you. I think it's disgusting. I think across the board, Natan, when we live in a society that says it wants to clean itself of racism, yet looks at everything through a racial prism, we do nothing but teach each other to become racist. And until we stop looking at people outside of who they are and that they are a person and judge them on the content of their character, I think we're going to continue to be in this cycle, and it's going to be more acceptable to be more open about it, which is disgusting in its own right. So we appreciate you, man. Obviously we want to talk about the fighting and how your career's taken off, but I do think that was an important piece to add, and I think you're exactly right, man. We wish you the best of luck. We can't wait to. I think you coming on Crane and Company might have something to do with a little bit of these dubs. Maybe we need to be in
what
the
I'm saying,
training regimen.
Natan, hey, if Floyd Mayweather can go 50-0 with Justin Bieber in his corner, imagine what you can do with the crew walking out in your next fight.
We'll take over
right
this
now.
together. That's definitely. But man, best of luck to you. We're going to be promoting that next fight, and keep grinding your way through this, man. You're going to make it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you soon.
Definitely. We'll talk soon, brother. Don't forget us when you're beating everybody up in the top levels of UFC either. We want you on all the time.